Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Caitlin and today we're talking about Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. This is my absolute favorite book to ever exist. This is as if Dostoevsky's Notes from an Underground and Gogol's Diary of a Madman had a wonderful, tormented French baby, and I love it. I love it so much. So I actually read Nausea on my iPad, which explains why this book is literally untouched, but I've wanted to move my annotations from my iPad to the physical copy of this book. I don't want to do a complete reread of this book yet. This is a very affecting book for me. I very much relate to it, but I do want to talk about why it's my favorite book, and I do want to share with you guys some of my favorite parts in this book, some of just the goodness and deliciousness that is Sartre. So just a little bit about this book. I think the first sentence in the blurb on the back sums up this book perfectly. Nausea is the story of Antoine Requentin, a French writer who is horrified at his own existence. Like, that's literally it. It's about a man named Antoine Requentin, and often the nausea overcomes him. And when he talks about nausea, I think severe anxiety, a lot of disassociation, depersonalization, panic attacks, just not feeling like he's in control of his own body. It is written in diary entry form, so you really feel like you're experiencing this from his point of view, which is crazy. Something I do want to say about that I think is really funny is he'll write for pages complaining or rambling, ranting, freaking out about something, and then the next day he'll start his diary entry and just be like, yeah, like, it wasn't that deep. Like, it wasn't that serious. I definitely overreacted. I also want to say I've seen this book a lot on Pinterest actually, and a little bit on TikTok, but I've never actually seen someone sit down and discuss it. So I'm taking it upon myself to do that. I am going to use this gray mild liner to annotate and highlight. I think that is a good pairing. I don't like any of the tabs I have, so I'm just going to use hot pink. I do think it's a nice color combo, but yes, we're gonna just do hot pink. Let's get into Nausea. I'm very excited to feel nauseous today. The first highlight that I came across is probably one of my favorite parts of the book. It says, "Thus these objects serve at least to fix the limits of probability. Today they fix nothing at all. It seemed that their very existence was subject to doubt, that they had the greatest difficulty in passing from one instant to the next. I held the book I was reading tightly in my hands, but the most violent sensations went dead. Nothing seemed true. I felt surrounded by cardboard scenery which could quickly be removed. The world was waiting, holding its breath, making itself small. It was waiting for its convulsion, its nausea, just like M. Akil the other day." I don't even know where to begin because there is so much in this book about perception, and Antoine cannot always discern reality from falsity. He says he's reading a book and he's in the library, but everything around him is like cardboard. It's not actually real. And he goes into talking about these objects where if he were to pick a book off the shelf, would he open it and would there actually be words, or would it really just be a prop? And he goes around town like freaking out about this and just like spiraling over reality and falsity. And it's, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite parts of the book. Further down where he is spiraling, he says, "As long as I could stare at things, nothing would happen." I also love that because you ever watched a really scary movie and then you're in bed at night and you're just staring at your door because you're like waiting for someone to walk in, or like if you just keep your eyes open or like keep the lights on, like nothing bad is gonna happen. That's what like this makes me think of, and it's crazy. I love this book. On page 52, Antoine goes on about time, and time is something that I absolutely love to read about. I love to hear different perspectives about time because it is so man-made, but at the same time, it's like all we have. Anyway, let me read what I want to read to you. For the moment, they wanted to live with the least expenditure, economize words, gestures, thoughts, float. They had only one day in which to smooth out their wrinkles, their crow's feet, the bitter lines made by a hard week's work. One day only. They felt the minutes flowing between their fingers. Will they have time to store up enough youth to start anew on Monday morning? They filled their lungs because sea air vivifies. Only their breathing, deep and regular as that of sleepers, still testified that they were alive. And on page 57, is it that time is not always irreversible? There are moments when you have the impression that you can do what you want, go forward or backward, that it has no importance, and then other times when you might say that the links have been tightened, and in that case, it's not a question of missing your turn because you can never start again. I thought that was very interesting how he talks about time, and the idea of time itself is it's something I can't conceptualize at the moment in my life because I don't know where I stand on it. I don't know how to feel about it. I went to the next quote I highlighted and listen to this. I have only my body. A man entirely alone with his lonely body cannot indulge in memories. They pass through him. I shouldn't complain. All I wanted was to be free. Do yourself a favor and read this book. That literally makes me want to throw up. Surprise, surprise, another quote on existentialism because that's what we're here for. On page 84. Questioned my very right to exist. And it was true. I had always realized it. I hadn't the right to exist. I had appeared by chance. I existed like a stone, a plant, or a microbe. My life put out feelers towards small pleasures in every direction. Sometimes it sent out vague signals. At other times, I felt nothing more than a harmless buzzing. This book is like, you know that SpongeBob episode where he loses his identity and he's just like sitting at the diner with a cup of hot coffee and just staring into nothingness? That's what this book is, and it's how it makes me feel. It makes me sit back and analyze my life probably a little too much. I have a really long one for you guys, if you couldn't tell. It's on page 99. Just listen. It pulls a little, softly, insinuating it exists. I don't insist. No matter where I put it, it will go on existing. I can't suppress it, nor can I suppress the rest of my body. The sweaty warmth which soils my shirt, nor all this warm obesity which turns lazily, as if someone were stirring it with a spoon, nor all the sensations going on inside, going, coming, mounting from my side to my armpit or quietly vegetating from morning to night in their usual corner. I jump up. It would be much better if I could only stop thinking. Thoughts are the dullest things, duller than flesh. They stretch out and there's no end to them and they leave a funny taste in the mouth. I exist. I am the one who keeps it up. The body lives by itself once it has begun, but thought, I am the one who continues it, unrolls it. I exist. How serpentine is this feeling of existing? I unwind it slowly. If I could keep myself from thinking, I try and succeed. My head seems to fill with smoke, and then it starts again. Smoke. Not to think, don't want to think. I think I don't want to think. I mustn't think that I don't want to think, but that's still a thought. Will there never be an end to it? My thought is me. That's why I can't stop. I exist because I think, and I can't stop myself from thinking. At this very moment, it's frightful. If I exist, it is because I am horrified at existing. I am the one who pulls myself from the nothingness to which I aspire, the hatred, the disgust of existing. There are as many ways to make myself exist, to thrust itself into existence. Thoughts are born at the back of me, like sudden giddiness. I feel them being born behind my head. If I yield, they're going to come round in front of me, between my eyes, and I always yield. The thought grows and grows, and there it is, immense, filling me completely and renewing my existence. This man is not having a good time. I am speechless. I don't have any words to say. We're about halfway through. Well, maybe a little more than halfway through. So I'm gonna keep highlighting and putting little notes. So I've been filming this video for a while, and I realized I never really described what the nausea is in Sartre's words. On page 122, the nausea starts coming over him. I glance around the room and a violent disgust floods me. What am I doing here? Why did I have to get mixed up in a discussion on humanism? Why are these people here? Why are they eating? It's true they don't know they exist. I want to leave, go to some place where I will be really in my own niche, where I will fit in, but my place is nowhere. I am unwanted. So this is nausea, this blinding evidence. I've scratched my head over it. I've written about it. Now I know. I exist. The world exists, and I know that the world exists. That's all. It makes no difference to me. It's strange that everything makes so little difference to me. It frightens me. He's currently at a little cafe eating with the self-taught man. That's his name in the book. And he's just freaking out, actually. I'm excited to announce that I have finally finished annotating and highlighting my copy of Nausea. It only took me like an hour and a half to do, but it was worth it because I really enjoyed revisiting this book. My gosh, it like hurts my heart. And if you haven't read Nausea, I really encourage you to read it. It has honestly changed my life. It has made me love reading. And at the end of this book, Antoine decides to leave where he's staying in France and depart on a new venture where ultimately he will have the same exact experience, which I like because this book is kind of cyclical, where you can finish the book with Antoine leaving where he's staying in France and restart the book as if he never left. But with saying that, I do want to read one last quote in this book. It's on page 173. Good God, it is I who is going to lead this mushroom existence. What will I do all day long? I'll take walks. I'll sit on a folding chair in the Tuileries, or rather on a bench, out of economy. I'll read in the libraries. And then what? A movie once a week? And then what? Can I smoke a Voltaire on Sunday? Shall I play croquet with a retired old man in the Luxembourg? 30 years old. I pity myself. There are times when I wonder if it wouldn't be better to spend all my 300,000 francs in 1 year, and after that? But what good would that do me? New clothes, women, travel. I've had all that and now it's over. I don't feel like it anymore, for what I'd get out of it. A year from now, I'd find myself as empty as I am today, without even a memory, and a coward facing death. With that happy note, I'm concluding this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you like this type of video. It was really fun to film. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day and go read Nausea because this is a great book and it deserves all the attention that it gets.